up guys? My name's David, you're watching Balcony Barbecue, and today I'm sharing with you guys 8 things that you're gonna need to know before buying a junior level Traeger. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So I have owned a Traeger for about a year now, and after using it several times a week, I would say I found 5 pros and 3 cons that I think you really need to know about before going out and buying one of these. Let's start at number 1. Major pro of the junior line grills here is their portability. So obviously you can tell this fits on the patio. It's light, which means it was easy to set up. I set it up by myself. It didn't take long at all. So that's a huge pro if you don't have a huge backyard or you need to fit it on the side of the house or just on a balcony like me. They're also HOA compliant, which is super, super useful. The second pro is that these can do more than just smoke or grill, and this is true of any Traeger, but they can bake and roast or braise, so they're super versatile in terms of what you can make. I've seen people make cupcakes on these, and popcorn, and smoked snack mix, and focaccia bread, all sorts of amazing things, because it actually uses convection heat like an oven would. So not like your traditional propane or charcoal grill, meaning you can use these for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert, which is awesome. Third pro is that the junior line here, this is actually a Bronson 20. They're mostly pretty affordable, so you can find these in the $400 to $500 range. I got this one for 400 bucks, and that does sound like a lot, especially if you're comparing it to, you know, just a Weber charcoal grill from Walmart. But if you use this thing a lot, it's absolutely worth it. Like I said, you can do everything on here. So if you find yourself using this thing 3 to 5 times a week, it's absolutely worth it. The fourth pro is that it's super easy to use, and a lot of people who aren't familiar with grills probably wouldn't know this. You know, you make some amazing, delicious smoked beef ribs like this video here. People think you need to be a pro chef to make that, but honestly, it's just as simple as turning the dial and watching it sit there and cook. So keep that one on the down low, don't tell, but these are super easy to use. And lastly, if you have any Traeger, you're gonna get access to the Traeger app, which is actually amazing. They have hundreds of recipes on there, cooking videos, tips, resources. If you have a Pro D2 controller on your newer Traeger, you can actually hook it up to the app, set timers, temperatures. So whatever grill you get, there are just a ton of resources on that app, and it is a huge, huge pro of owning a Traeger. So 3 cons now, right? 3 bad things you're gonna need to know. Number 1, it's actually the same as our first pro, the size. So while this is really portable, really maneuverable, the internal size that you get on the inside of the grill is just not huge, you know? So if you're just cooking for a small family, you'll be totally fine. But if you need to do a ton of wings or a crazy amount of ribs or 3 briskets, you're not going to be able to fit that in here. I've been able to do 1 15-pound brisket in here. It fit fine, comfortably. I was able to squeeze 3 racks of ribs on here, but it is tight. So either you're going to need a rib rack, or maybe this just isn't the grill for you. So it fits enough for what I need, but definitely be mindful about how much you're going to need to be cooking before buying this. So the second con is that on these smaller Traegers, the hopper here, which holds all your pellets, is actually pretty small. So with some of the bigger grills, you can fill it up with a ton of pellets and just leave it for hours and hours. I find that with this Bronson 20 here, because the hopper is so small, the pellets don't really shuffle down and get fed into the grill in the way that they need. So you kind of need to be monitoring this one a little more often, making sure that the pellets are always shuffling down where they need to go and that this thing's always relatively full with pellets. So you can leave it for a little bit. If you need to run to the store, this thing will be fine, but generally you're gonna wanna stick around it as close as possible. And lastly, the third con with this grill, I would say, is that the temperatures can be kind of inconsistent sometimes. So because of the small chassis on the inside here, the airflow just isn't as big as one of the timber lines. And so that can lead to some big temperature fluctuations. And I find it actually cooking pretty hot sometimes, so I'll set it to 180 and I'll find it cooking closer to 225. So you have to be mindful about how your specific Traeger cooks, and definitely just be looking out for the temperature. You will get in the range of what you set it to, and sometimes it's locked in perfect, 275, it doesn't move, but a lot of times you will see that kind of temperature fluctuation up and down. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. These are so much fun. I would say whatever Traeger you get, do a little bit of research, see how much you're gonna need to cook. I've had a blast with it. I've just been able to get creative, make stuff I normally wouldn't be able to. Again, just because of the easy use and the versatility on them. So as long as you take care of them, put a little bit of maintenance in, it's gonna last for a long time. And I think you guys are really, really gonna love it. So we will catch you on the next video.